Hey everybody, welcome back. Still talking about bugging in and bugging out, and we did some pros to the idea of bugging in and bugging out. And again, there's no argument here. There's no wrong answer. It all depends on what you need to do in the moment. Either one can work fine for you if you know what you're doing. So we're not making that argument. I know a lot of people in the prepping community love butting heads about that. And where are all my geese?
Yeah, we're back at our favorite
There's no geese.
location. And all of the geese are gone.
Yeah.
Even the goose that had the wings clipped.
Yeah, there's a few that were flightless that found their way here.
Oh, there's one. Oh, that's the one with the broke wing. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can zoom in on it.
Okay, well,
I can't.
I was just wondering what happened to them.
Yeah, well, that's just one.
Okay. Anyways, back to the point.
Mm-hmm.
we wanted to talk about some of the cons as well. So there's always a lot of butting heads, like I said, in the community. Oh, you're a fool if you bug in, you're a fool if you bug out. Okay, we're all fools. Fine. So what are some of the cons? And today we're talking about the cons of bugging in. Top 5 reasons, or at least 5 reasons why it might be a bad idea to try to stay put. First of which is that your home could be compromised. So what do I mean by compromised? I mean, let's say it's a disaster that destroys your home. Then you have no place to bug into. And you didn't have a backup plan for this. You don't have somewhere else to go. You don't have a bug out plan. Your house gets wrecked. There's an explosion. Worst case scenario. Yeah, worst case scenario, the house is destroyed for some reason, and you can't bug in there. Do you have a backup plan for that type of a scenario? Because it could happen. What do you do? Maybe there's fires out of control, and there's no emergency response because the grid's down or whatever, or they prioritize what they consider to be important and your house isn't on the list. And you end up with nothing. You end up homeless and without but perhaps your car and your gear, whatever you carry with you. That could be a disadvantage to only having a bug-in plan. Next up, number 2, dealing with people, dealing with friends, family, and neighbors. Because you blabbed to somebody at some point, or someone figured it out, and guess what? They're coming to your house. Oh, there he is. They're coming to your house. They say, oh, so-and-so preps. Yeah, old Billy boy, he preps. He's got food. And then they're going to gather up 10 of their friends and come over and beg. And you know how that goes. That can get dangerous really quickly. Neighbors, family members that you don't want to deal with. And I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, you got to help people. Yeah, sure. But you got to be smart about it too. You got to be selective about it. And you have to prioritize yourself and your family and the people that are most important to you first before you even consider anyone else. So if you have a bug out plan as opposed to staying in, you don't have to deal with these people. You can kind of brush that off, hopefully. Hopefully they won't tag along with you. Next up is that you won't have to deal with the door-to-door problem. Number 3, marauders, groups of marauders. Most people, they assess, that is FEMA assesses and the government assesses, and they're probably right that the average person doesn't have but a 3-day supply of food in their homes. You have more than that, but the average person does not. Supermarkets are restocked daily for a reason. They're going to be picked clean pretty quick. 24 hours, there'll be nothing in there but powdered milk. The gas stations get replenished daily, sometimes more than once. Supply chain is broken. There's going to be no food. People are going to band together and they're going to go door to door, through apartments, through houses, through neighborhoods, looking for stuff. And I know there are things that you can do to make your house undesirable to these people, and that's another topic of discussion, but that's something you won't have to deal with if you're not home. Or dealing with the Red Cross or FEMA or National Guard or CDC going door to door, banging on your door, telling you you need to come with them everywhere, moving everyone out of this area or something like that, or we need to search your home for guns, we need to search your home for food. That can happen. We saw that during Hurricane Katrina. They went door to door taking people's firearms.
Yeah.
And it made the situation worse. And most of those people didn't get their guns back. And the ones who did, they got them back in pieces after the lawsuit, by the way. I don't know if you were aware of that they completely disassembled the weapons and made a mess. But that's something that you can avoid if you are not there to put up with it. Number 4, you're easier to spot. The larger the population center is, the greater the opportunity is that someone can find you out. Even if people are dying off, even if people are moving away from wherever you are, you got a chimney? Are you cooking where there's smoke? Do you have a generator? Do you have a loud ass dog? A lot of people are like, oh yeah, dogs are great and they can alert you to when people are coming. You don't want your badly trained, out of control little dog yipping and yapping when there's 80 people coming down the street with baseball bats looking for something to eat. Okay? You can be found out a lot easier in an urban environment or a suburban environment. Basically, larger population centers, it's easy to find out where someone is than if you were out in the middle of nowhere. And number 5, you could get trapped. Again, the more heavy the population is in an area, the greater the chances are that you can get stuck where you are, because it's easy for the government, state, local, federal, whatever, to seal an area off. It's really not that hard. There are many, many places in the United States where you can cut off a couple of roads and you're trapped. You're not getting out of the city. I mean, there are ways you could escape, sure. You know, if you know how to cut through here, there, and everywhere. But there are situations by which you probably don't want to get stuck where you are. You want to at least have the option to leave if you need to. Did you have any points on any of those?
On that one, I just wanted to say, we saw a post-apocalyptic TV show, and the government put up a perimeter. It was a electric perimeter. You couldn't see it at all around the entire city, so people won't get in or out. Now, I haven't heard of that, but it's possible.
Well, we saw that other one with the disease where they used shipping containers.
Yeah.
And they blocked every street, but they were armed. They were armed military, National Guard, whatever, watching.
Yeah. So you could get trapped in your neighborhood, your subdivision, your town or city or whatever. And again, we make up these little scenarios, these pros and cons, so that you can use it as a way of improving on whatever your plan is. If your plan is to bug in, it's good to know the cons, so that if any of that is you, you can fix it. If your plan is to bug out, it's good to know the cons, because if you fall into that area, again, you can fix it. But no, that was all. I just wanted to say that.
And, we'll throw out one more. Call it number 6, if you will. You knew I had one more, right? I know some of you did. Is that the average home is not really very secure anyway. It's not like if you look at old houses or old Victorias or brownstones. When we were living in, when we were in Kansas, there was a lot of old brownstones there. Some of them had walls that were like damn near 1.5 feet, 2 feet thick. It was crazy. Older houses, they were built to last. Modern ones are not. They're built out of shoddy, inexpensive materials. I mean, you got some sheetrock and some 2x4s and some siding and a little bit of insulation. the way that they're constructed is very poorly done. For the most part, they're thrown together. As expensive as they are, they're not well built. If somebody were to start shooting at your house, they would go right through your outer wall, through all the walls in your house, out the back and into the next house, and probably into the house behind that. They would tear right through your home like a hot knife through butter. Even regular, just standard ammunition, nothing fancy. 9mm, a 22 would probably cut its way through your house. Their insulation is designed to maintain the environment that is set inside the home. So when you're running your air or you're running your heat, the way that the modern house is designed is to help to maintain that. It really will not protect you from the elements without power. So if you've got nothing running in the home, then, you know, the grid's down, whatever, for a long period of time. Hot is going to be really hot, cold is going to be really cold, and these modern homes are not designed to prevent mold and mildew without air circulation. So when the moisture level starts to really come up, when it gets really humid, you're going to get mold and mildew in your home. And another thing is if you are not able, not all houses have this capability, if you're not able to shut off your sewage, it can back up on you. If the water isn't running, I mean, shutting the water off is one thing, but can you block your sewage? Because it'll back up. It'll start coming up through your toilets. That can happen. There's a lot to consider about how badly constructed, how poorly constructed the modern home is. Lots of windows. Some people have glass doors. A lot of modern homes don't have windows on one or more sides. They're not well constructed at all, easily broken into, easily damaged or destroyed. So just something to think about. Something to think about. But do you have any thoughts? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it. We hope you did. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. All of that good stuff. If you are new to the channel and you saw, oh, here they come. If you're new to the channel and you saw random cat images and you're wondering what the hell is the deal with that, that's just Canadian geese.
Loud as can be.
Yeah, sure they are. If you're wondering what's the deal with the pictures of the cats, they are strays that my wife and I take care of, and images of them in the video actually help with the loading algorithm. If you wanted to help the channel out, there are links for that down below. Every little bit helps, and we sure do appreciate it. And if that's it, then what more can I say but stay frosty, folks, and thanks for watching.